The Small Village Dreamer. In a quiet village surrounded by green hills and wide rivers, there lived a boy named Aaron. He was not born into wealth or comfort. His family owned a small hut made of bamboo and mud. His father worked as a farmer. His mother wove mats to sell in the market, and together they struggled to feed their three children. Arun was the youngest. Unlike other children who were content with playing games and running in the fields, Arun always looked at the sky with curiosity. He loved watching birds fly freely, and whenever he saw the tall mountains beyond the horizon, something inside him whispered, "There is a world bigger than this village." But reality was cruel. His school had broken benches, torn books, and sometimes no chalk for the teacher to write with. Many boys his age left school early to help their parents work in the fields. Some laughed at Iran when he spoke about wanting to learn more and see the city. They would say, "Dreams won't fill your stomach. Stop chasing the sky." Yet Aaron refused to let go of the spark in his heart. He believed there had to be a way to climb higher, even if no one else believed in him. The invisible wall. Every dreamer eventually faces the invisible wall, the barrier that stands between desire and reality. For Aaron, that wall was poverty. His father could not afford higher education. The city schools required uniforms, books, and fees that were impossible for a farmer earning just enough to buy rice. One evening, as they sat eating plain lentils and rice, Aaron asked softly, "Father, what if I want to study more?" His father sighed deeply, the wrinkles on his forehead growing heavier. "My son, I want nothing more than to give you a better life. But ladders don't grow on trees. We can only climb as far as the ground allows." First steps of wood Arun began small. He borrowed old books from a retired teacher in the village who noticed his hunger for knowledge. Many nights while others slept, Arun studied under the dim light of a kerosene lamp. He had no proper table, so he used an old wooden box. At first, the words were difficult. Math problems looked like puzzles from another planet. English sentences twisted his tongue, but he refused to quit. Each page he understood became like a wooden plank for his ladder. When others mocked him, saying, "You'll never leave this village," he only smiled. In his mind, he was already climbing. The weight of failure. No ladder is built without mistakes. Arn faced many. During an exam, he failed miserably in mathematics. His classmates laughed, and even his teacher shook her head, thinking he had wasted his time. For a week, Aaron felt broken. He almost believed the voices around him. But one night, he remembered his father's words about ladders. He realized that a broken step doesn't mean the ladder is useless. It only means it needs repair. So he doubled his efforts. He asked questions, practiced problems, and slowly turned his weakness into strength. That failure became one of the strongest planks in his ladder. Building with sweat years passed, and Arun grew into a teenager. His determination only became stronger. He started working in the fields after school to save money. Sometimes he carried heavy loads in the market. Sometimes he cleaned stalls for shopkeepers, all while continuing his studies at night. Every coin he saved was like a nail for his ladder. He refused to spend it on sweets or small pleasures. He was building something bigger, his future. People began to notice. Some villagers who once mocked him now admired his discipline. A few even helped by giving him extra books or allowing him to read newspapers in their shops. Aaron's ladder was slowly rising higher than anyone had expected. The first climb. At the age of 17, Aaron earned a scholarship to study in the city. The day he received the letter, he held it tightly, tears filling his eyes. It was proof that his homemade ladder had carried him beyond the walls of poverty. But the climb was not easy. In the city, he faced new challenges: language barriers, competition, loneliness. Many city students laughed at his simple clothes and village accent. At times, he felt like a small fish thrown into a vast ocean. Yet he reminded himself, I built one ladder, I can build another. He worked harder than ever, spending nights in the library, asking questions fearlessly, and improving little by little, rising above. Years later, Aaron graduated with honors. He became an engineer, respected for his intelligence and humility. But more importantly, he never forgot the village boy who once studied under a kerosene lamp. He returned to his village and built a small learning center where children could study for free. He told them, don't wait for someone to give you a ladder. Build your own step by step. Every page you read, every skill you learn, every effort you make, it all becomes part of your ladder. The children listened with shining eyes because they knew the man before them was proof that it was possible. The lesson of the ladder. The boy who built his own ladder became more than a success story. He became a symbol of resilience. His life taught others that you don't need wealth to dream, you need courage. Failures are not the end. They are steps of learning. Hard work and persistence can build bridges where none exist. The ladder you build for yourself can become the ladder for others too. Aaron's story spread beyond his village, inspiring people in town, schools, and even cities. Some called him lucky, but those who knew his journey understood. It was not luck, but self-built strength. Stronger with every step. Looking back, Arun often smiled. He had climbed higher than he ever imagined, but he knew the true reward was not the top of the ladder. It was the process of building it. He proved that no dream is too far, no wall too high, and no situation too hopeless if you are willing to take wood, nails, and patience into your own hands. And so the boy who built his own ladder left behind not only a story, but a lesson for generations. When the world refuses to give you a way up, don't wait. Build your own ladder and climb.